Hi everyone. I'm really happy and excited to be back to do the fourth part of my Messy Mini Journal. Today I'm going to be adding in some images and just little bits and pieces, just something on each page to draw your attention. I may not do every single page today. If you see me skipping some pages, it's because I don't have anything picked out yet to go on that page. I do have some things that I've gone through my stash, and all the little bits and pieces that I showed you before. I've gone through all of these and picked out a few things that I think might work on my pages, and I'm really excited to get started. So I'm going to go ahead and move along, and then I'll come back and talk to you again at the end. Okay, so we got a lot done in this little messy mini journal. I still have more to do, and I'll probably come back with, I imagine, one more installment for finishing touches. So let me just go through and show you or talk about real quickly what I did here. Most of it is pretty obvious. I did decide I wanted to add in some textiles. I just think it adds a lot and gives nice little three-dimensional effects without being too lumpy and bumpy, so that the book, you know, is still relatively thin. You know, it's not gonna, it'll sit on a shelf well. Let's put it that way. So I did do that, and I originally had this little piece of sari ribbon on this tag, and I decided to take it off because it was, when it was tied on, it was sticking straight out, and most of the other things that I put on the edges are kind of tucked inside the cover, and that was just sticking way out. And I trimmed it down, and I trimmed it down, and I trimmed it down, and I still didn't like the way it looks, so I was able to take it off. And I just added a little bit of baker's twine because that tends to just kind of fall. And I've got other little strings and things that are just falling, so I felt like that just looked a little bit better. It's the way that I wanted it. You know, if something's bothering you that you don't like, change it. You know, that's what I do. And so that's what I did there. I just wanted to show you up close what the pages are looking like. This is an image from Jane Davenport. It's one of her product. I don't remember which product, but you know, all of her things tend to have these girls that she's done, and I love that. So I just saved the packaging and I trimmed it out, and it went well on this page, especially with the Geico gecko over here looking over like he's kind of flirting with her or something. I know that's crazy, but I just thought it looked funny. That's what it looked like to me. Once I put her there, I was like, oh my gosh. And then I had this word. So he's like, hello, you know, like crazy. Okay, so yes, there's still more to do. Like there's outlining and stuff that I still need to do. I have not done a lot of pen work or anything. I've done a little bit, but not much. And I just love how everything is turning out, though. I really do. And little finishing touches here and there, and it'll be finished. It'll be done. But I added this stamp that I stamped that on tissue paper and then stuck it there. I like that. Another little piece of ribbon here. I just love this page. I love that yellow butterfly on top of all that color. So I added some ribbons and things. You noticed when I was attaching them that they were already sewn, and that way you can get your sewing on your pages without having to take a book that is, you know, put together and try to fit it under your sewing machine. Just sew your little pieces first, and then you just glue them on, and then they look like they've been sewn to the book. So I think that's fun. I really like the way this page turned out. These little flowers that you see in here, and here, and there's another one in the back there a little ways. I was just playing with watercolor one day, and they turned out kind of cute, so I reduced them and copied them, and I just really like how that turned out, how it looks. And then I put this little piece of fabric swatch behind it, and it kind of blended into the background, so I added these little pieces of this scalloped ribbon, and I think that helped it just pop back up off the page again. So I like that a lot. I think it turned out really sweet. And that's another one of those little watercolor flowers. I thought it went really well on that page. And this is just a little piece. I'm not sure what this is. I think it's a piece of art. It was in some magazine or catalog. I don't remember which one. And I just loved the swatch, the way it was just swatched out, and it was a piece of art. I was like, that's really cool. So I cut it out to save, and sure enough, it worked out perfectly on this page. And this little burlap heart that I had put on here, I decided to add some white slick paint, this tulip slick paint, and outline the heart so that it was you know, kind of dimensional like the heart was. So I did that there. I changed this little purple piece. I didn't care for the one that I had put there, so I just put another little piece with purple and this teal turquoisey stuff on it, and added the little branch, and I was much happier with it. And you saw how I put down some white first here so that you could see the birds, because otherwise they would have blended right into that busy background. And some more. Now this is, I put this laugh some every day here because I thought it was funny next to this crazy cat. This crazy cat lady. It looked to me like she was dancing, standing up on her hind legs, you know. And so I had this little dress. It was a printout, a free printable thing from Pinterest that I got a couple of years ago. And there was lots of little dresses all in different patterns. And so I was like, oh my gosh, I think I've got a dress that'll fit this cat. So I put it on her, and then today I found this little bling, and so I added the little, looks like little pearls on her arm and on her neck. I think it's hilarious. She's like a June Cleaver. I'm dating myself now, of course, but she's like wearing her pearls and her floral dress out to dance. I thought this whole page looked kind of like a discotheque, you know, and so I added the little sequins and stuff, and then dressing her like that was, to me, was hilarious. So the only thing I don't have for her is some dancing shoes, but you know, we can use our imaginations there. Okay, this page, I wanted to just keep it like it was. I really liked the way it looked, and I just loved that background, so I just added the word joy that had been die cut, and put that there. And this little bird is from a piece of tissue paper. I had glued it down to a piece of label paper, so after it was glued down I trimmed it out and then just peeled it and stuck it down. These are a couple of my little homemade stamps there that I put on the bottom. I love this little bird here. He was from a catalog. He's beaded, little beaded bird something or other, but I loved it, of course, so I cut it out. You'll see lots of birds and things in here because y'all know I love birds. So so I had to stencil just a little bit more on the background for him to show up, or for her to show up. It was a little too dark, so adding just a tiny bit more stenciling allowed her to just pop right up into the foreground. And then, of course, I wadded up, you know, some strings and some of that plastic mesh pieces to make her little nest out of. And this page I thought turned out cool too, and I was able to use some of that drywall tape scraps that that I've had left over from some projects, so I thought that was kind of cool. And I love the strings here from all the stuff I took to the sewing machine and stitched a little bit. I left the strings because it is a messy journal, you guys, so that's why I'm leaving that there. And I love the colorful fibers that I put on the top of the tag too. I thought that was fun and whimsical, and it's just the kind of thing I like, you know. If you noticed any of these stamps that I've been using in my book this time, these are some stamps that I've been working really hard creating over the last several weeks, and they're all my own painted backgrounds, and I just created right on top of them. And this is one also, and I will show you when I get finished with this little flip through. I will show you what they look like, and you can see what I'm talking about a little bit clearer there. But I really enjoyed using them in this. It was so much fun. But they're little clear stickers, and I'm just having fun using them. So this is just some magazine images that I really thought was sweet. A little girl blowing bubbles, and this was some little kind of like little sock dolls. And I just thought they were really sweet, so cute. So they actually matched perfectly on this busy page. They kind of stopped it. And once I outline these things, they'll be even better, and they'll pop up off the page a little bit more. Right now they're a little bit blendy, but they'll be better next episode. So stay tuned for that. Some more magazine images and a little printable from Pinterest that I got several years ago. This is somebody's art. I don't remember who now, and it was just so cute and colorful and just so whimsical. I loved it, so I had to cut it out and save it. And it was bigger than that. I reduced it and copied it on my printer and then stuck it to a little white card. But I love that. And I may add a little bit more to this page too, possibly over here too. I'm sure with doodling and stuff, the page will get, all these pages will be completely filled up when I'm done. And then this was a piece of my art that I did a couple of years back that I like a lot. So of course, liking birds like I do, I like that image a lot. So I use it every once in a while. I use it in my art, in my journals or my projects. And this was just a little mobile hanging thing. It was in a catalog, and I thought it was really cute, and I cut it out just because it was just so unique and cute. And then of course it matched this page perfectly, so I was happy. And I just put it on a piece of white cardstock so that it would be easier to lift and a little bit thicker, you know, so it doesn't get bent up and everything. And then I can always put something else on this page here if I want to, or journal or whatever on the back. And then some more fibers up here. And a couple of little stuffed animals that I'd seen in catalogs I thought were cute, and I had cut them out. And this is, I don't remember what this was, but it didn't have anything to do with this elephant. But it was so unique. I like to save things that have patterns and all on them, just for stuff like this, because you never know when something like that's going to come in handy. And I thought that looks so sweet. Just a little perch for him. So, and this is really cool too. This is that rubber shelf liner stuff. And so I just glued some of that down to the page. I thought that was really neat too. And it gives it a really cool texture. So, and just more magazine images, another little thing from Pinterest. That's all I added to this page so far. I mean, I have a little smiley face sticker somewhere. I'm going to see if I can find it. It's a little yellow smiley face sticker, and I thought I might stick that down here. But I really like how that looks, even just by itself with the black ribbon on it. And I really liked this too, this torn out. This is something I had, most everything in here, you guys, is scraps. I don't think there was, I honestly don't believe there was anything that I took out that was brand new, whole sheet of paper or anything like that. Everything in this book is made out of scraps. And so I had already stamped this, and it was sitting in my basket. Usually when I stamp something, I'll stamp it more than once so that I'll have it again later and I don't have to stamp it again. And that's what I had done with this. And so I just tore out the edges and sewed it to this little scrap of fabric, little swatch. And then I was able to just glue it down. And I just love how it looks. It's perfect for that page. So here's that other little flower I was talking about that I had watercolored. And I just cut a piece of fabric and into the shape of a little pot to put it in. So I thought that turned out really sweet. And here's the bee I put on this page that had all the honeycomb stamping on it. I thought that was fun. And I held up the Wink of Stella pen, and I showed you while it was wet. And it was shiny when it was wet, but when it's dry, it just has just the very slight hint of sparkle, just ever so slightly. It's nothing even as strong as Stickles, but it was just enough to give the wings a little bit of something, something more than just being flat and plain. So I don't know if the camera is picking that up or not, but it's got just a little bit of sparkle in it. So since the bee was on this side, I have Be Yourself on this side, and added a little coffee cup, of course. It's a little dark. I might have to do something special to that to make it show up later. I liked how this page turned out, kind of just an eclectic little jumble of things. And I really liked it. Happy with that one. And I thought it looked really good on this page. It brought out the yellow that was barely noticeable before in the background here. And I love this butterfly, another Pinterest printable, and I love the addition of the lace on the bottom. And then we've got the clock back here and the page next to it saying, make time. For all the things you love, make time. Make time for it. And I'll be outlining those things, of course, the letters to make them stand out a little bit better. And then there's another one of those little stamps. So I'll get to the next segment of this very soon, and we'll have this little book finished up. I'm really enjoying it. So here's what I created. This is my book of stamps. Okay. And it's just 3 pages full of just little pieces of art that I've created. Some of them are brand new creations. Some of them you might recognize, such as the little cake that I had made on my journal page. I reduced it and added it to this little stamp. And I just love these. They are so much fun. Here's one you might recognize. My little bird that's relaxing in the pool. I have had the most fun creating these, and there are 24 of them in my book of stamps, and some of these you'll recognize from where I used them in the journal, and I just have had a blast. Excuse me. You might recognize these little houses. I made those in one of our morsels last year when I was creating with clothing tags, altering clothing tags. And so anyway, it's a set of 24 stamps, all created by me, and they will be in my Etsy shop hopefully by the time this video goes up. If not, then very shortly after. So keep an eye out and check my Etsy shop for that. And as always, thank you so much for watching and for supporting me and my endeavors here to create and to inspire you. And I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.